Welcome to Health News and Views, a podcast dedicated to bringing some clarity to the health disparities in the Black and Brown communities. If you believe there's a connection between food, sickness, and health, then you're in the right place. Let's begin the process of unraveling the truth. And now, your host, Lynn Pete.
Well, greetings and welcome back to another episode of Health News and Views, Food, the Final Frontier. I'm your host, Lynn Pete. Well, if you are a first-time listener, welcome. And if you have been a regular to this podcast, thanks again for stopping by today. Well, 4 years in the making, over 140 podcasts later, I am pleased to announce that Food, the Final Frontier is making its maiden voyage into the book realm. In a matter of days, August 31st, the release of Health News and Views, Food, the Final Frontier will make its way into a print form. Yes, the date is August 31st, and it will be available on Amazon. And if you would like to receive a copy before that date of August 31st, you can go to Health News and Views. It's all one word, Health News Views, not and, but it's healthnewsviews.com. And you could become one of the select group to get the advanced copy. That's right, Health News and Views family. What started as real conversations about real food and real bodies and real barriers is now bound, printed, and ready to sit on your shelf and in your hand. For years, we've been having the conversations nobody else wanted to have. Why chronic diseases seems to hit our communities harder, and why eat healthy advice so often ignores the neighborhoods we actually live in and the budgets we actually have and the food deserts that we actually navigate. Well, Food, the Final Frontier doesn't dance around. This is the plain truth about chronic disease and health in the Black and Brown communities. No filler, no fluff, just the science and the strategy you've been asking me for since episode 1. Inside the pages, you'll find the same voice that you trust on this podcast, but now you can hold it, highlight it, dog-ear it, pass it on to your mom, your sister, your auntie, your cousin, your church group, maybe even a book club. 13 chapters, real illustrations, the numbers you need to know, laid out plainly so you can finally make sense of what's going on your plate and what's going on in your body. Mark it down, August 31st, Food, the Final Frontier launches on Amazon, published under the name of Bookworms LLC. And again, this is not just a book drop. It is the next chapter of everything we've built together right here on Health News and Views, Food, the Final Frontier. And now, for this episode, A Pound of Cure. Well, A Pound of Cure was part of a Health News and Views family podcast episode way back in May 2025, a little over a year ago. And we did an episode called High Tech Prevention. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? Thanks, Benjamin Franklin, for that one. And the premise was simple. We're not anti-prescription. We're just pro-prevention. Don't wait for the outcome to predict the future. I thought I said what I needed to say way back then a year ago. I was wrong. So the topic bears repeating, and today I'm going to tell you why. But first, our disclaimer. The subject matter provided on this podcast or any of our published documents is for informational purposes only. Food, the Final Frontier, and our partner, healthnewsandviews.com, does not attempt to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease or condition. Always check with your healthcare provider before making any lifestyle, dietary, or prescription drug changes. And now, in the last year, I have personally known 5, maybe even 6 people either in their 50s, mostly in the 50s, 60s, and 70s who ended up in a hospital bed over the last year. And for what? Heart attacks, strokes, blood pressure crises that came out of seemingly nowhere. And here's the part that stays with me. Some of them already knew. Some of them had already been told, you're pre-diabetic. You have elevated blood pressure. Your blood sugar is a little high. They had the warning. They just didn't have the numbers in front of them every day in real time. That's why we're back on this topic, because it bears repeating. A pound of cure, medical technology in a year ago in high tech prevention, A Pound of Cure, medical technology can flag a problem before it becomes an emergency. You can breathe into a device An alert from a smartwatch. You don't have to wonder what your blood sugar is or your blood pressure and what's that doing. You can know in real time instead of waiting. And I've heard people say, I was waiting for I got an appointment with the doctor's office next month. What? Well, instead of waiting for the doctor's office visit to tell you what your body's been trying to say for months, you don't have to wonder what your blood sugar is anymore or your blood pressure. What's that doing? You can know in real time instead of waiting for that doctor's visit to tell you what your body's been trying to say for months. Well, guess what? That episode got 35 downloads. I was like, oh, okay. It's modest, okay. It was quiet, but the kind of episode that plants a seed and moves on. Well, guess what? The seed grew, and just not the way I wanted it to. Since that episode aired, I have watched those 6 people I know are personally. They're not statistics. They're not strangers. They're people in my actual life. And I watched them go through a heart attack, a stroke, or hypertensive crisis in the prime of their life, but it landed them in the hospital during that, I still feel fine most days, territory. And here's what gets me. Some of them weren't blindsided. Some of them had already been told, pre-diabetic. That word had already been said to them in the doctor's office, probably in the same tone doctors use for a lot of things that sound, survivable. And it is survivable, but only if it's tracked, not just told. A number you hear once in an office and then don't see again for 6 months isn't a warning system. It's a rumor about your own body. Can I just say something that's going to sound a little ridiculous? But stay with me on this for a minute. I'm going to go on my little rant here. Do you know, most men I know have a tire pressure gauge in the car, and some of them check it more than they even check their own blood pressure. And the car itself, the car will tell you, the car will tell on you. Temperature's running hot, you get a notice about that. Light comes on, oil's low. Light comes on, fuel's getting low. Light comes on. Sometimes it even dings at you. The car has instrumentation. The car has a whole dashboard dedicated to telling you the second something is off before it becomes a breakdown on the side of the highway. Meanwhile, your own body, the one thing that you cannot trade in and you cannot lease and you cannot replace, is running with no dashboard at all. You find out something's wrong when you're already in the emergency room. That's like finding out your car overheated because, now it's on fire. For many people, that is the number one symptom. And we check tire pressure more than we even check our own blood pressure. Sit with that for a second. It bears repeating. We check tire pressure more than we even check our own blood pressure. Sit with that for a second because that bears repeating. So here's where I've landed. And I'm not going to soften this either. If you're over 50 and you have a family history of heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, you should have devices in your home. Not consider it, not maybe next year. Have them. The same way you would have a smoke detector. Not because you're expecting a fire every day, but because when it matters, you don't get a second chance to have it installed. This doesn't have to be complicated. A blood pressure monitor, you can get at pharmacy now. They're over the counter. Omron or Withings on the bathroom counter. Use it weekly, not just when you remember. A continuous glucose monitor, Dexcom Stelo or Abbott Lingo, especially if you're pre-diabetic, has ever been said to you out loud. A metabolic tracker like Illumin, if you want a fuller daily picture of how your body's actually running. I have a scale, it's called a Hume scale, and it told me my metabolic age and what my biological age is and my chronological age, and none of the numbers were the same. I'll just say that my biological age was around 44, which I haven't been for a very long time. But it knows how the weight of my bones, my legs, my body mass, whether it's my skeleton, whether it's my muscle mass, and it actually tracks that for me. If I said I wanted to lose, not when we don't lose, right? We release so many pounds, like 10% of my body weight or something like that. It reminds me to stay on track. So there's lots of devices out there to help us. None of these replace your doctor, of course, and all of them replace sitting and waiting for 6 months to find out what your body's been trying to tell you daily. You don't need to wait for a diagnosis to start paying attention. That's the whole point of prevention. It happens before. And I put together something to help you get started. It's called a Know Your Numbers. It's a free guide that walks you through exactly which numbers matter, what ranges to watch for, and how to actually start tracking them. Not just knowing, tracking. Go to Health News Views. That's all one word, healthnewsviews.com. It's linked somewhere here. In fact, I'll tell you, if you don't see it on this podcast link, go to the website directly. Give your body the same respect you would give your car. Put a dashboard on it. This has been a Pound of Cure on Health News and Views. I'm Lynn Pete, your host. It bears repeating, so tell someone. Send them this episode. It might be the light on their dashboard that they needed to see. Again, go to healthnewsviews, all one word, .com for that free copy. Also, I have a food list there that you can have for free too. And make sure you sign on and get the advanced copy of Food, the Final Frontier that is going to be released on Amazon as well. Make today an extraordinary day. Be a blessing to someone. And from Bob Marley, you never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. Make it a powerful day. Do come back. Peace.